Hi folks, I'm the newstarcadefan here. In the last episode of SC2VN, an all-kill that seems all but inevitable, but Accel went up. Let's see how this plays out. Despite the dire position his team is in, Accel wastes no time in fighting back for control of the series. He deflects the Kane player's pressure with a well-positioned Marine force at the top of his ramp, killing off a zealot and scaring away a stalker. About a maneuver, the Protoss now lacks the information on whether or not Accel is expanding. How will he cover his options? Accel's cloaked banshee is nearly complete. The game player hesitates to set, and a second later throws down an expansion. Jet heaves a sigh of relief, confident that the game is decided. Classic Protoss move. Don't think, guess. It is true that if Accel had been expanding, the game player would have earned a slight edge. Instead, he's forced to watch helplessly as Accel's banshee flies straight into his space and blasts his worker line into pieces. With a highly delayed and evidently begrudged GG from Kane, Accel puts Crash on the board. Salty he didn't get his all kill. Why did the Protoss leave so early? He could have at least gone for a base trade or something. Are you kidding? Terrorists have had base trades figured out for almost a year now. God, I wish my gateways could fly. I guess, but there's no reason to throw in the towel so early, even if he was going to lose. He could at least try to wear Accel out before the games to come. Accel can easily bring this back. But even with his team's first loss, the Kane coach looks confident. He gestures for one of his youngest players, speaks to him for almost an entire minute, then sends him into the booth. Yeah, this is where all kinds of hell is breaking loose. The Kane coach sends in an amateur Tyrann to face Accel. You must have confidence in either its young talent or remaining two players. You must assume he wants to give the young team some experience. Certainly, there's no other reason to send them in against a strong contender as Accel. Riva watches as the Kane coach is passively never allowing her attention to leave him until the fifth game loads in. Yeah, the Kane opens with a command center first. It seems that Kane team has a strong preference to set the pace of the game and force their opponents to react. How will Accel respond? Accel is going to scout it, throw down his own CC. What else? He'll out macro the kid's kid anyway. I really need to learn how to talk. Riva answers Jet with a nod, though not in a way that makes her seem particularly pleased. As predicted, Accel's thorough scout discovers the Kane Command Center early enough to stay in the economy-focused game. Even with this amateur's Tyrann's slight advantage, Accel claws his way back onto the even footing, then claims the lead when he catches a drop en route to its base. The Crash fans roar a cheer when Accel charges his opponent's tank line in a way reminiscent of old Brood War mech battles. Old habits die hard. Even with the game all but decided, the Kane Terran remains until Accel moves forward to destroy his base. Just before offering his GG, the Kane player amateur scans and reveal all of Accel's structures. As I thought. I once his jet belts out an ear-shattering cheer and then turned to Riva. What do you mean? The Kane will send in their Terran ace. Not such a hard guess, really. But even the previously confident Jet watches Kane's bench now. Sure enough, their team's ace pulls himself to his feet and peels off his team jacket and tosses it to a squealing fangirl. Did she just sniff it? I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. The Crash coach paces back and forth with his hands behind his back. His pitch looks far more invested in the series than they did 2 games ago. What a treat, the highest level of Terran versus Terran about to unfold before us. I'm excited to see how Accel measures up. His TVT has always been his strongest matchup. Jet and Reva watch relentlessly as the game loads up. Even Stun has stopped cheering against Crash. Kane will go command center first. If Accel does not 2 racks, he will be at a disadvantage. Are you from the future or something? What's with these super specific predictions? Gotta remember, Reva can play 3 races and is an ace at them. Shut up, watch. Accel opens with a standard play and repeats the scout of its opponent's CC at a timing near identical to the last game. Feigned bunker aggression provokes brief panic into the Kane ace, forcing him to pull a handful of SCVs to contest what could be a direct counter to its build. A good move, but will it be enough? No, good move, but it will not be enough. When the fake rush ends, the Kane player throws his head back, heaves a sigh of relief and smiles. He begins attacking aggressively, a dangerous option without scouting Accel. Can you please explain what's going on? Do you know what's happening before it... Why do you know what's happening before it happens? The Kane ace used the amateur to bait out Accel's response to the CC first. This isn't something that would be possible if they weren't ahead by so many games. True. They sent their best player to face Accel with the full knowledge of his reaction. But Accel can adapt on the fly, right? Easier said than done. Sure enough, Accel's answer is the exact same as it was to the amateur before, and providing an rare skill for StarCraft players. Even for someone as skilled and well-rounded as Accel. The game player will build 2 starports beyond his natural to avoid Accel's typical scan pattern. Then will clear Accel's map vision with Hellions, and then count Accel's production with Banshees and Vikings. This isn't over. Accel will scout the gas timings and might realize something is off. But the strategy proves to be too specific for Accel to cover without scouting directly. The missile turret in its worker line won't protect its production structures. Accel's scan misses the mark by mere pixels. There's no chance he'll be prepared in time. Yikes. Yeah, pixel difference is the difference between winning and losing. With the center of the map clear, the King Terran flies straight into Accel space. Unbelievable, we've rarely seen such unit composition. But is it the perfect answer in this scenario? The Vikings keep Accel's inferior air force at bay, while the Banshees pound Accel's structures and tanks without answer. An attempt to establish a missile turret defense cost Accel a ton of workers. When he eventually stabilizes, his army is less than half the size of Kane's aces. The game is over. He also remains until the bitter end, running as cost effectively with his inferior force as he can. It's only once the Kane stands his units back and forth that Accel finally taps out. A cheer from Aces fans announces the conclusion of the series. 4-2, Kane. Luckily, Stun has the sense not to gloat about the money that he just won from Jet. The 4 of us sit in silence as we watch Accel agonize over his loss. While Kane huddled together with smiles and cheers, all of Crash sits with their heads down, save Accel, who still hasn't left the booth. His coach looks furious. He barges in through the booth's back door and raves at Accel from behind his back. That's not a good way to run a team nor inspire confidence. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Frustration is one thing, but Accel won 2 games before he went out. Yeah, this is the kind of coach who wants to win above all else, and not even try to attempt to improve, even during the victory. Even if he had gone down on a win, there's no reason to yell at him. How is that supposed to help? As such, my anger on Atzel's behalf reaches a point where I think to say something to Jed. Atzel rises from his seat and starts past his coach without so much of a glance in his direction. Should we go talk to him? Yeah, come on. The three Korean commentators are in the middle of winding down the series with a post-match analysis when we rise out and exit through the studio's back door. We find Axel standing alone with a palm on his forehead. When he catches our footsteps, Axel turns to regard us all with his typical grin. Well, yeah, he tends to look on the brighter side of life. Alas, oh well. His carefree attitude is unique among professional gamers. If the average pro isn't angry or depressed by loss, they're at least frustrated. Well, he gets that him being frustrated would not help him out at all. Part of me wonders whether or not Axel is covering up his true feelings, but he seems to be genuinely fine. And that's a question we'll answer for the next episode. But I do hope you like this video and will like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. I'll be back as soon as I learn how to talk. Anyway, I'm the new StarCade fan here saying thanks for watching, have a good day or night wherever you are, and bye for now.